What happens in the final moments of life? Is there a last spark before everything fades? Since the dawn of thought, humanity has asked, what is the nature of existence? What does it mean to be conscious, to be alive? Plato pondered the world of forms. Descartes declared, I think therefore I am. And Nietzsche challenged us to find meaning in a universe that offers none. Today, scientists join this ancient quest, seeking answers in the final moments of life. What they have found is nothing short of remarkable. In the seconds after the heart ceases to beat, the mind does not simply fade into darkness. Instead, the brain can ignite with a surge of organized electrical activity, a final, mysterious spark, a brilliant burst of consciousness at the edge of oblivion. This is not chaos. It is a structured, coherent signal, more intense than anything seen in waking life. This discovery opens a door to a profound mystery. Are these final moments a window into the soul, or simply the last echo of a complex machine? The question lingers beneath the stars. What if this final spark is not just a fleeting flicker, but a fire that illuminates the meaning of a lifetime? Perhaps in this last stand, the mind weaves together every memory, every thought, in a desperate, beautiful attempt to understand itself, echoing the questions of philosophers and scientists alike. Imagine for a moment that our reality is not the original, but a recreation, a shadow of something deeper. Plato once described prisoners in a cave, mistaking flickering shadows for reality itself. Centuries later, René Descartes wondered if life itself might be a dream, if all we know could be an illusion. Today, some thinkers suggest our universe could be a simulation, a story told by something greater, or by our own minds. Our brains, after all, are masterful storytellers. Each night, in dreams, we create entire worlds from memory, fear, and desire. These dream worlds feel utterly real while we are in them. Joy, terror, love, and loss all play out as if they were true. We accept the logic of dreams without question, just as we accept the rules of our waking world. If the mind can conjure entire realities in sleep, what might it create in its most heightened state? Consider the brain as a storyteller, recording and replaying the narrative of a lifetime. Every sight, every sound, every touch is woven into the tapestry of our personal reality. Perhaps in the end, reality is the greatest story ever told, one we are both author and audience to. The question remains, are we living in the light or still watching shadows on the wall? In the end, the search for truth may be the most human story of all. And so we continue, questioning, dreaming, and creating meaning from the shadows and the light. This is the grand replay, the endless dance between reality and imagination. St. Augustine once asked, "What then is time? If no one asks me, I know. If I wish to explain it, I do not know." To explore how a lifetime might be contained in a single moment, we must first confront this ancient mystery. Immanuel Kant believed that time is not something that exists outside of us, but a framework our minds use to organize experience. Is time a property of the universe or a creation of consciousness? Our perception of time is fluid, stretching and compressing with our thoughts and emotions. Heidegger wrote that we are not in time, rather, we are time. Time is not a rigid line, but a living process shaped by consciousness. In moments of fear or joy, seconds can feel like hours, or vanish in an instant. Think of the rush of adrenaline in danger, or the boundless expansion of a moment of happiness. A car crash can seem to unfold in slow motion, while a summer afternoon can slip away before we notice. Years can pass in the blink of an eye, or a single day can feel eternal. Our inner world shapes the tempo of our lives. Neuroscience shows that our emotional and psychological states influence our internal clock, blurring the line between objective and subjective time. Time, as we experience it, is not a force like gravity, but a phenomenon woven by the mind. It is a subjective tapestry, unique to each of us. Scientists and philosophers alike continue to unravel the enigma of time, searching for its source within the brain and beyond. Drugs, meditation, and trauma can all disrupt our sense of time, sometimes producing a feeling of timelessness, a glimpse, perhaps, into the true nature of existence. At the heart of all our inquiry lies the greatest mystery, consciousness itself. What is it that allows us to experience the world, to wonder, to ask, who am I? Is consciousness a spark within the brain or something more? Descartes famously declared, "I think, therefore I am," separating mind from body. Yet, Eastern philosophies remind us that the self is not separate, but part of a greater whole, like the endless cycle of the Ouroboros, or the balance of yin and yang. Science tells us consciousness emerges from billions of neurons firing in intricate patterns, but we cannot point to a single place and say, there it is. Philosopher David Chalmers calls this the hard problem. Why does all this activity give rise to subjective experience, to the feeling of being you? Is the mind a ghost in the machine, or is consciousness the very process of the machine itself? Science and philosophy both search for answers. Some suggest consciousness is a form of information, fleeting yet structured, perhaps able to exist for a moment beyond the body. When the brain releases its final surge, is it the end, or the ultimate expression of a story told by the mind to itself? Imagine for a moment that life is a cycle, endlessly repeating, as Nietzsche's eternal recurrence suggests. How would this change the way we see our days? If every moment returns, each memory becomes a form of immortality, echoing through time, never truly lost. Camus wrote of the absurd, the search for meaning in a world that offers none. Yet in embracing the absurd, we find freedom to create our own purpose. Even the smallest experiences, a quiet morning, a shared laugh, become meaningful when we accept their impermanence, as Buddhist thought teaches. Each fleeting moment is a thread in the tapestry of existence, unique, unrepeatable, and precious. When we let go of the fear of endings, we can cherish the present, knowing that its value lies in its very impermanence. Our choices, our kindness, our love, these are the marks we leave, the stories we write into the universe. Whether or not life is replayed, its meaning is found in how we choose to live and remember it. If this is your only story, would you not savor every moment, every frame? Perhaps the greatest wisdom is to live as if each day is both the first and the last, fully awake, fully present, and deeply grateful.